Hello, dear students. Today I will discuss the last part of Unit 3rd Electrochemistry, that is Part 6. After studying Part 6, that is last part, you will be able to explain battery and its type, that is primary battery and secondary battery. Then you will be able to explain about corrosion, that is rusting, and factor affecting it, and prevention of corrosion, that is by which method you can prevent rusting. So let us start. From battery. Battery is very familiar to everyone. So now, how can you define about the battery? The battery is a combination of one or more than one cell connected in series, or cell that be used as a source of electrical energy. Is basically a galvanic cell where the chemical energy of redox reaction is converted into electrical energy. That is battery work as galvanic cell where chemical energy change into electrical energy. Next point about battery. For a battery to be of practical use, it should be reasonably light, compact, and its voltage should not vary appreciably during its use. That is, battery should be light in weight, small in size, not big in size, and voltage should not be vary during its use. There are mainly two type of batteries, that is primary battery and secondary battery. Now primary battery. In the primary batteries, the reaction occurs only once and cannot be reused again. That means only one time use this type of battery. You cannot use this type of battery again and again. Here two examples you have to know. The example number 1, dry cell or Lagrange cell. For this cell you have to know about the anode and cathode reactions and overall reactions. Anode, as I had told you, at anode oxidation occurs and at cathode reduction occurs. Here also, in this cell, anode is made up of zinc and cathode is made up of graphite. So at anode, Zn convert into N2 plus 2 electron, and at cathode MnO2 plus 2NH4 plus 2 electron change into MnOOH plus 2 ammonia. Now the net reactions, that is overall reactions, Zn plus 2 ammonium ions plus 2 MnO2 This will gives then 2 plus 2 MnO OH plus 2 ammonia. Here ammonia gas is liberated. Now note, ammonia produce in the reaction form a complex with Zn2 plus to give Zn NH3 whole 4 square bracket 2 plus. That means here ammonia reacted with the anode forming a complex. Second, electrolyte is a moist paste of NH4Cl and ZnCl2. Here moist means containing moisture. The electrolyte used are NH4Cl and ZnCl2. Third, the cell has a potential of nearly 1.5 volt. That is EMF of the cell is 1.5 volt. Fourth point, they do not have long life because the acidic NH4Cl corrode the zinc container even when the cell is not in use. Here NH4Cl is a salt which is acidic in nature and reacted with the zinc containers. So that's why you cannot use this type of cell for a long time. And voltage is also vary because here electrolyte are reacted with the anode. Fifth point, used commonly in our transistors and clocks. Sometime one question is asking also कि dry cell are used in where? So the answer is transistors and clocks. Also in torch this type of cell is used. One more question is asking कि why the voltage of this cell vary? The answer is the electrolyte, that is NH4Cl, reacted with the zinc containers and corrode them. That's why the voltage vary in this cell. Second, primary battery, mercury cell, also known as button cell and also known as Rubin-Mallory cell. As the name indicate, button cell, it is used in the hand watch which look like a button. That's why it is known as button cell. Anode, Zn Hg amalgam. This is also type of solution. Cathode, a paste of mercury, second oxide and carbon. Electrolytes used a moist paste of KOH, ZnO. Again moist means containing moisture. Now anode, at oxidation take place at anode. Zn Hg plus 2OH minus. This will give ZnO plus water plus 2 electrons. At cathode, reduction occurs. ZnO plus 2 water, HgO plus water plus 2 electrons. This will gives Hg plus 2 OH minus. Here OH minus cancel. That's why this reaction do not use electrolyte. Now the net reaction is ZnHg plus HgO. This will gives ZnO plus Hg. So this reactions you have to learn. This type of questions, you write the net reactions or the reaction of cathode and anode occurring in the mercury cell is asking in board examinations. Now note about mercury cell. This cell is suitable for low current devices like hearing aids, camera and watch. Second, the cell potential, that is EMF, is approximately 1.35 volt and remain constant during its life, as the overall reaction does not involve any ion in the solution whose concentration can change during its lifetime. That means here no electrolytes is used, that's why their voltage is constant during its lifetime. So look about the watch cell. This cell have constant voltage. That's why the working of watch stop at once, not slowly. This will indicate this have constant voltage region. The electrolytes do not use in this reaction. Third, most countries have outlawed the cells in order to reduce mercury contamination of the environment. One famous disease caused by mercury is Miyamata disease in Japan. That's why this is not used in that country. Now secondary batteries. A secondary cell after use can be recharged by passing current through it in the opposite direction so that it can be used again. That is, those battery which can be used again and again are known as secondary battery. A secondary battery can undergo a large number of discharging and charging cycles. Third point, secondary cell are galvanic cell while discharging, that is in use. That means when battery is working, in that conditions it behave as galvanic cell, and electrolytic cell while recharging. But when the battery is charging, in that condition it will work as electrolytic cell. So that is secondary battery. So two type of electrochemical cell, galvanic cell and electrolytic cell. The common examples which you have to know: lead storage battery and nickel cadmium battery, that is cell. Now first, lead storage battery. During discharging, operating or producing current, what reactions occurs at cathode and anode? You have to know. So now anode is Pb, cathode is Pb packed with PbO2, and electrolyte is here 38% H2SO4. Now the cell reactions at anode and cathode: Pb plus SO42 minus aqueous, this will gives PbSO4 plus 2 electron. E naught for this reaction is minus 0.356 volt. Now at cathode, PbO2 solid plus SO42 minus aqueous plus 4H plus aqueous plus 2 electrons. This will gives PbSO4 plus 2 water. Now E cell equal to plus 1.65 volt. Now the cell reactions is Pb plus PbO2 plus 2H2SO4 aqueous. This will gives 2 PbSO4 plus 2 water. And now the E naught cell equal to, as I have told you, E cathode minus E anode. By putting the value of cathode and anode, we get the answer plus 2.041. This is the positive value that indicate the reaction is spontaneous. Now some more point you have to know about this. From the above equation, it is obvious that H2SO4 is used up during discharging. As a result of, the density of H2SO4 fall below 1.20 gram per ml. The battery need recharging. In that condition, when the density of H2SO4 fall, the battery need recharging. Then one more point you have to know. PbSO4 is not a good conductor of electricity, and a thick coating of it prevent proper contact of electrode with H2SO4. Now during recharging, that is charging, as you learn the reactions of discharging, so the reverse reactions happen for charging. So now look the conditions. The battery reactions is reversed, that is PbSO4 on anode and cathode is converted into the Pb and PbO2 respectively. So look the reaction. Anode PbSO4 plus 2 water will change into PbO2 plus SO4 2 minus plus 4H plus 2 electron. And cathode PbSO4 plus 2 electron, this will gives Pb plus SO4 2 minus. Now the cell reactions is PbSO4 plus 2 water, this will gives Pb plus PbO2 plus 4H plus 2 sulfate minus. So this reaction is just reverse of discharging. Now note, each set of grid is connected in parallel to increase the surface area of electrode. So one question may be asked, why the set of grid is connected in parallel? So your answer is to increase the surface area of electrode. Now produce the same voltage as a single electrode and deliver larger current. So in parallel, voltage are same. That's why a single electrodes work here and deliver larger current. Second, each cell of lead storage battery has a potential of about 2 volt. Thus 12 volt battery used in most car have 6 cell connected in series. Now secondary battery, nickel cadmium cell. The overall reaction during discharge is at anode Cd plus 2OH minus, this will give CdOH का whole twice plus 2 electron. At cathode NiO2 plus 2 water plus 2 electrons will gives 2 NiOH का whole twice plus 2 OH minus aqueous. The net reactions is Cd plus 2 NiOH का whole thrice, this will give CdO plus 2 NiOH का whole twice plus water. So this reaction you have to learn also for the board examinations. Sometimes the question asks from the batteries and the reaction occurs at anode and cathode with oral reactions is also asking in the board examination. Now note here, as you look the oral reaction, no gas product is formed during the use of the cell, therefore battery is sealed and made compact. Second, it is used in the calculators and electronic devices. Third point, EMF of the cell is about 1.4 volt. One more point you have to know, because cadmium is an environmental toxin, therefore use is being discouraged. This also causes one disease, hepatitis. So that's why the use of cadmium is not so used as regular manner. Now fuel cell, that is known as Bacon cell, galvanic cells that are designed to convert the energy of combustion of fuels like hydrogen, methane, methanol, etc. directly into electrical energy are called fuel cell. So that is, it is also type of galvanic cell where the chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. The first practical use of fuel cell developed by British engineer Francis Bacon. That's why this cell is also known as Bacon cell. This H2O2 cell used an alkaline electrolyte and inexpensive nickel electrode. Now anode and cathode, porous carbon electrolytes and aqueous NaOH. Now anode and cathode reactions in the fuel cell. At anode, 2H2 gas plus 4OH minus aqueous convert into 4 mole of water, liberating 4 electrons. Now at cathode, O2 gas is reacted with 2 mole of water, taking 4 electrons from anode and convert into 4OH minus. Now the cell reactions. Here 4OH cancel with the 4OH and we get the net cell reaction. 2H2 plus O2 in the form of gas will convert into 2 mole of water in the form of liquid. This water used for the drinking purpose. Now advantage of fuel cell. The cell runs continuously as long as the reactants are supplied. Second advantage, efficiency of this cell is about 70%, but for galvanic cell it is 40%. Third point, pollution free, and the water is product which are used for the drinking purpose. Fourth point, the water vapor produced during the reaction were condensed and added to the drinking water supply for the astronaut in Apollo research space program. So that's why this water produced in the fuel cell used as drinking purpose. Now disadvantage of fuel cell, as fuel cell have its advantage but also have some disadvantage. So you have to know the disadvantage of fuel cell. The catalyst used PT, PD, AG are costly. The in science cost is also affected the project. That's why the catalyst used here are costly. So this is the disadvantage of fuel cell. Second, there is a problem in the handling the gaseous fuel at high pressure, as the fuel are gaseous. That's why it creates a problem in handling. Third disadvantage, the electrolyte are used, NaOH and KOH are corrosive in nature. That's why it is also difficult to handle it. Now corrosion, the last topic of unit 3rd, rusting of iron. Here you have to know about the rusting of iron. Corrosion is a broad term which have rusting of iron, tarnishing of silver. Simply meanings in corrosion, loss of top surface from the metal. So now corrosion of metal is an electrochemical phenomenon. In corrosion, metal is oxidized by loss of electrons to oxygen and formation of oxides take place. Now a simple example of rusting taken to explain the corrosion. Anode oxidation, 2 iron convert into 2Fe2 plus liberate 4 electrons. E cell equal to minus 0.44 volt. Now at cathode, O2 plus 4H plus 4 electrons which came from anode. This will give 2 mole of water. Here E naught value for this reaction is 1.23 volt. Now the overall reactions being 2Fe plus O2 plus 4H plus, this will give 2Fe2 plus 2 water in the form of liquid. And if we want to know the reaction is spontaneous or not, we have to calculate the value of P naught cell from the given E cathode minus E anode. Now the here answer is plus 1.67. That means E naught cell positive means indicate the reaction is spontaneous. Now look the diagram to understand the process of rusting. Here the black color, so the rust. Here two spots are there. One spot work as cathode and second spot work as anode. The reaction is also given here. This is the figure of iron where the rusting occurs, shown here. So iron taking the water molecules from the environment and also some acidic gas, that is the common acidic gas is H2O. This will enhance the process of rusting. Now factors affecting corrosion. This is most important. Which factor affect the corrosion more or less? First, standard reaction potential, that is also known as standard electrode potential. So I have told you कि more the negative E naught value, more will be the reactivity of metal. So here lesser is the standard reaction potential, that is more negative value, greater is the tendency of corrosion. In other words, more is the reactivity of metal, greater is the tendency of corrosion. That is, if we are taking one example, out of copper 2 plus, that is copper, and iron, which corrode first? So your answer is iron, because the E naught value of iron is minus 0.44 volt, but for copper is plus 0.34 volt. So that's why more the negative E naught value, more will be the corrosion. Second things, and second factor, strain and corrosion. Corrosion of metals occurs mostly more rapidly at point of strain, bend, nick and scratches. So as you've seen that where the bending occurs or more straining given to the metal, more will be the corrosion at that point. Now third, impurity of metal and corrosion. Presence of impurity in the metal increases the probability of their corrosion. That is, pure metal, for example, pure iron does not undergo rusting, but impure iron rusting occurs. Now fourth factor, salinity of water and corrosion. If water is saline, it helps in flow of current in micro electrochemical cell on the surface of iron and hence increases the process of corrosion. One examples are taken in the examinations. Rusting of irons occurs in distilled water or saline water. So your answer is saline water, because the salt work as electrolyte for rusting of iron. Fifth factor, pollution and corrosion. The acidic oxide such as CO2, SO2, NO2 is etc. present in the air act as catalyst for corrosion. It should be noted that if iron is placed in the vacuum, it does not undergo rusting. So that means the air containing this type of oxide also help in the rusting. One common example, CO2 when combined with the H2O presence in the air, they will give H2CO3. Carbonic acid, it is unstable and break into 2H plus CO3 2 minus. So that will start the process of rusting. 6. Presence of moisture. For example, rainy season, that means the rusting is more common in rainy season than comparison to the dry season. So this will also indicate that moisture enhance the process of rusting. Now some noteworthy points about the rusting. First, most metal have reduction potential lower than O2 and react spontaneously with it. That means more the negative value of E naught, more will be the chance of rusting. Second, many metals react very slowly with the oxygen and several metals form oxide coating on their surface which protect them from further attack by oxygen. For example, the aluminum containers which is not easily corrode because of deposition of a layer of Al2O3 on that container. Now, the last heading of corrosion and also the last heading of this chapter, prevention of corrosion, that is rusting. How you can prevent, that is how you can avoid the rusting. First, by covering the surface with paint or some other chemicals. So this is a common method. The painting will reduce the rusting. Here some chemicals also can be used, that is known as bisphenol. It is found by the combination reactions of acetone and phenol. Second, cover the surface by other metal, Sn, Zn, tin, zinc, etc. that are inert or react to save the object. Third, an electrochemical method, that is sacrificial electrode, that is anode like Mg, Zn, etc. which corrode itself but save the object, that is iron, because Zn Mg is more reactive, that's why it save the iron. Fourth method for prevention, galvanization. In this method, what happen here basically involve coating of iron object with the Zn. So this process is known as galvanization. Here iron is coated with the zinc, as the zinc is more reactive than iron. So zinc corrode first, then iron and save the iron object. This process is known as galvanization. Lastly, anti-rust solutions are there. So many anti-rust solutions are there. Alkaline phosphates, alkaline chromates are anti-rust solution, due to which H plus ions are not available for rusting, and hence this will stop the process of rusting or corrosion. So these solutions, that's why known as anti-rust solution. Now, questions based on battery and corrosion. This you have to know which type of questions is asking related to this topic and how you can give the answer for that question. There are some examples are given here. The solutions are also given. Now question number 1. Suggest a metal which can be used for cathodic protection of iron. So commonly you can use zinc, because zinc is more reactive than iron, because the E0 value of zinc is negative 0.76 and for iron negative 0.44 volt. So more the negative value, more will be the reactivity. This I have told you. Second, suggest two materials other than hydrogen that can be used as fuel in the fuel cell. So this I also told you. Methanol and methane is the common example. Question number 3. Define corrosion. Write chemical formula of rust. So corrosion is the process of destruction of metal as a result of its reaction with the air and water surrounding it. It is due to the formation of sulfides, oxides, carbonates, hydroxides, etc. Now the formula of rust is Fe2O3.X water. So this is the formula of rust. It is also known as hydrated ferric oxide. Question number 4. What is the electrolyte used in the dry cell? So this you have to know. A paste of NH4Cl, MnO2 and carbon is the electrolyte used in the dry cell. Here NH4Cl are reacted with the zinc containers and form a complex. This I have told you. Now question number 5. List 3 measures used to prevent rusting of iron. Your answer is, I have given about 6 points to prevent the rusting. Out of 3 you have to written here. First, galvanization. This is known as coating of iron by a more reactive metal, that is Zn. Second, greasing or oiling, you can do. And third, painting. So these three measures used to prevent rusting of iron commonly. Now question number 6. Explain the followings. Rusting of iron is quicker in saline water than in ordinary water. So this I have told you. In saline water, the salt work as electrolyte and hence enhance the process of rusting. Second, presence of CO2 in water increases rusting. This I have also told you. CO2 react with the water produce H2CO3. That's why it enhances the rusting. Third, iron does not rust even if zinc container, that is zinc coating, is broken at a galvanized iron pipe. So the answer of first question, this rusting of iron is quicker in saline water than in ordinary water. So saline water increases the electrical conductivity of electrolytic solution formed on the metal surface. Hence rusting is quicker in saline water. Second question, presence of CO2 in water increases rusting. So now CO2 dissolve in water to form H2CO3, which give H plus ions, accelerate the process of rusting H. Anode, what happens? Iron convert into Fe2 plus 2 electron, and at cathode O2 plus 4H plus 4 electron change into water. So that's why CO2 increase the rusting. Third, iron does not rust even if the zinc container, the coating is broken in a galvanized iron pipe. So as I told you, zinc is more reactive. So zinc being more reactive than iron will sacrifice itself for the sake of iron. As a result, atoms of zinc will be oxidized in preference to iron atoms. So this type of questions answers you have to know about for the board examinations. Now questions for self-evaluations. Question number 1. State 2 advantage of O2 H2O2 fuel cell over ordinary cell. So this I have explained here. You read the topic properly and try to write the answer of these questions given here. What advantage do the fuel cell have over primary and secondary batteries? Third question, write the cell reactions of the lead storage battery when it is discharged. So two type of reactions I have given here, discharging and charging. So here you have to write the discharge reactions occurring anode at cathode, and also write the net cell reactions. How does the density of electrolyte change when the battery is discharged? This I also told you. Now question number 4. What is the primary cell? Give an example. Primary cell means one time rechargeable. Question number 5. What are secondary batteries? Give an example. This is so many time rechargeable. Question number 6. Write the anode and cathode reaction occurring in a commonly used mercury cell, that is also known as button cell. How is overall reactions represented? This question is in the board examination. Question number 7. Give reason for the following. Rusting of iron is quicker in saline water than in ordinary water. This I have also given. CO2 is always present in the natural water. Explain its effect on the rusting of iron. So how this effect? This I have told you. So again, read the topic properly and try to find the answer of these questions. 9. Which member of each pair of metal is more likely to corrode, that is oxidize? Here first MgRCa. So learn about the inert value of Mg and Ca, which have more negative inert value, will corrode first. Similarly, second, gold and Hg are given. Third, iron or Zn, and fourth, Ag or Pt. So in each pair you have to find that which is more likely to corrode, that is oxidize first. This you have know about the value of inert. More the negative inert value, more will be the possibility of corrosion. Now question number 10. Consider the following metals: Ag, Au, Mg, nickel and zinc. Which of these metals could be used as a sacrificial anode in the cathodic production of underground steel storage tank? Steel is mostly iron, so use minus 0.447 volt as standard reduction potential for steel. Here also you have to look that which have more inert value than steel will be used as sacrificial method. So again go to the electrochemical series and recall about the inert value given in that series and find the answer of this question. Now dear students, do all work in the classwork copy, prepare a note with the help of the PPT video. Stay safe, stay healthy and keep learning. Thank you. Best of luck.